sitting down just as we come out of break. Jeff Capel, Pitt men's basketball head coach, also former Duke guard from our neck of the woods back in the mid-'90s. Coach, first of all, ACC Media Day, another one. Just start with kind of the optimism, the vibes. How excited are you that basketball season's getting started?
Yeah, really excited. We're in the midst now of starting practice and a few weeks in and anxious to play against someone else and to finally see someone else. But our team is working really, really hard. And guys have great attitudes. We're trying to get better, and we look forward to just trying to enjoy the journey.
Quite a bit of turnover on the roster. Certain guys in the transfer portal, certain guys ending their eligibility. When it comes to building around maybe incoming transfers and new players and replacing, production like Jalen Lowe, how important is this time of year, and how is kind of the chemistry building going?
Yeah, it's really important. It started in the summer. We have the majority of our team there, second session of summer school. We had everyone there except for one guy. And so it starts then. Obviously, having everyone once school starts. To me, how you get better is that you do hard things together. And that's what we've tried to do. And the thing that I've been encouraged by is that these guys haven't complained. They've shown up every day with the mindset of work, trying to get better, trying to push each other. And it's been a really, really cool thing to watch.
What kind of hard things? Are we just talking conditioning runs?
Conditioning on the court, the practices, the level of competition that they play at, the level of physicality that they play with, how they push each other, how they encourage each other, how they hold each other accountable. I mean, it's been really, really a cool thing to see.
We're talking with Jeff Capel, Pitt head men's basketball coach here at ACC Tipoff in Charlotte. I'm curious. Your reputation as a recruiter goes back years and years, right? And kind of legendary status. I'll give that to you. But a lot of it is right in this transition, maybe pre-transfer portal or pre-NIL. Outside of adding the dollars and cents conversation, how has it changed? Are you pitching different things, or are you appealing differently to players now than you did maybe 10 years ago?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the place where I am now is very different from where I was 10 years ago. I mean, no.
It's coming up on that at Pitt.
Yeah,
You've been there a good amount.
But no disrespect to anyone. When I was there, it was easy to recruit to Duke. I mean, we had Coach K. You know what I mean? And then John has been able to kind of take that. And so when you're at a place like Duke, Carolina, Kentucky, now probably UConn, like it's a little bit easier to recruit to those places. I'm not saying those guys aren't good, and I'm not saying I did a good job when I was at Duke, but I was at Duke. It's a lot different when I walked into a room or a gym with a big D as Duke on my chest than I walk in with Pitt. That's just the reality, and you have to adjust to that. The transfer portal, and not necessarily the transfer portal, but NIL kind of can help even it a little bit if you have the means to even it. And so that's the thing. I mean, it's very different now than it was 10 years ago, than it was 5 years ago, than it was a year ago. Because now, as this thing goes on, parents and kids know more. And so they're not as naive to recruiting and to the money aspect as maybe they were 2 years ago.
What was it? Is it less messy now with
No.
that? No, is it more messy now?
It's always going to be messy. I mean, we've operated in a world, even before NIL was legal, it was messy. Since they've legalized it, it's just a different type of messy, but it's still very messy.
We're talking with Jeff Capel, Pitt head men's basketball coach. I have this down 2 years ago. I asked you about your roster and were there any secrets? And I think I called him Carlton. But Bub Carrington was a guy that you were like, I've got this freshman. You guys are going to want to pay attention to him. By the end of the year, he's a lottery pick, averaging double figures in the NBA now. So I'll ask the same question. Do you have any secrets? Any hidden gems?
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple. I mean, I think we have two freshmen that I really like that I think really have a chance to have an impact on our team. One is a kid from Australia, Roman Salipa, who's about 6'7".
I was going to write that down, but
yeah,
I'll look it up on the roster.
He was the number one guy in his age group in Australia, but also the number one rugby player in the country. So there's a level of physicality and toughness that he has just right away. And then there's another kid from the D.C. area named Omari Witherspoon that's been really, really impressive as a freshman and will have an opportunity, I think, to have an impact.
Now I have to ask: do you coach the rugby out of them, or do you tame the rugby?
No.
Like, how do you?
We're
used to like maybe American football, basketball players. We used to say the hitting drills made basketball players. So the rugby drills probably make football players.
Man,
like that's another level of tough.
I don't want to tame it. I want controlled aggression and just teaching them how to harness it. But he's been really impressive. He's been with us for about a month now. We knew he was coming for a while, but with the visa stuff, getting in the country now, it's a little bit more difficult. So he's been there for about a month, and how much better he's gotten in a month as a basketball player. But the level of physicality and the toughness that he plays with is really impressive.
I want to ask you a few kind of bigger picture questions. You're one of the few that have seen our sport, college basketball, from every angle: player, big school, small school. You brought up like the blue bloods. Now you're a head coach for a long time now. There was a time when 2 games over 500 and like the 9th best record in the ACC, that got you right on the bubble, at least into the NCAA tournament. That's what you guys put on last year, and you really weren't part of that conversation. How does the league get back to where if you're an above 500 team and in that mix in the ACC, you're at least, first 4 out, right? Like we're at least in that mix.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I think what we have to own what happened. We did not take care of stuff in the non-conference last season, just as a league. If you look at the ACC, SEC challenge, it was a bloodbath. We have to be better in the non-conference collectively, every one of us. My first 4 years, we really contributed to the lack of non-conference because we didn't do a good job. The last 3 years, we did a pretty good job. Like last year, we did a pretty good job in non-conference. But collectively, all of us have to do a better job there. So I think that's the main thing. You look at these other leagues, they may have a team that's 2 games under 500 in the league, but they're still getting in. Hopefully we can take care of our business in non-conference and get back to that.
Last one for you. What's the right number for the NCAA tournament? Because we're getting into 76 or some. There's some proposals out there that are getting larger than I would like.
Yeah, well, I'm all for 76.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you take a look at the history of the NCAA tournament, I think it started at 16 to 32, 32 to 48. I'm pretty sure people didn't want to expand it, thought it would ruin it. 48 to 64, 64 to 68. Every year it's gotten better. I just don't see any way. I've lived through people thought that when you allowed kids to go straight from high school to the NBA, that it was going to ruin college basketball. It didn't. When you made them go to college, but they had to be there for at least a year, they thought one and done was going to ruin college. It didn't. Nothing will ruin the NCAA tournament. In fact, I think if you have more teams, it's a win-win all the way around. It doesn't cheapen it. It makes it more exciting. It gives young people more opportunity. If you look at the college football stuff, started with no playoff, it's tripled, and it's gotten better. I don't think they're done. And so I just think for us, the more teams you can get in, it gives more opportunity for young people to experience the greatest sporting event maybe that there is, March Madness.
I just think the font on one sheet of paper, it's going to get really small for me to read.
So you got to get the magnifying glasses, man.
Coach, we appreciate you for taking the time.
Appreciate you guys.
Good luck this season.
Okay, thank you.
Once again, that is Jeff Capel, Pitt head basketball coach. And as we referenced throughout that conversation, many of you remember him from his time as a Duke starting guard for the better part of the mid-'90s. Won a whole bunch of games for Duke out there and accumulated a whole bunch of stats.